Hello, I'm back from my usual 6 months interregno. I hope you guys have been doing great. To start this season, I bring to you something different. I play on this server. By the way, if you want to play on the server, you can. I'll leave the details in the comments. Here on the server, I have this long-term project. I call it Cidade das Pontes. It translates to Bridge Town. It's actually a place I've been building for a few years now, and I thought it would be cool to show this place to you in a video. But I was faced with a dilemma. Bridge Town is not crazy big, but to show everything in a single video I would not have the opportunity to go into the detail, and the detail is the cool part. So I made a new playlist and will make a few videos to show it around, starting with this one. For now I have 8 videos planned, it may be 9 or 10. After we finish, every time I have new things to show, I'll make a new video and I will add it to the playlist. Now, before we start walking around and talking about the things I've done here, you need to know 3 things. The first thing is that I'm not the only one contributing to Bridge Town. There are 2 other players actively building their projects in the area. And during all these years, some other players also contributed to it. Whenever we get to one of those areas or buildings, I'll give the rightful credit. This is important to me. The second thing you need to know is this. Bridge Town is my personal project. I'm not building it for the sake of content. I am building it because I like to be here and I like to build things. That means I don't feel obligated to finish anything. And you will find lots of buildings and other small projects that are not finished yet. I also get bored very easily, meaning I usually have more than one project at the same time, and I keep jumping between them. That's actually a strategy I recommend to keep your interest in the game. So please don't be too harsh on me. But I would love to know what you think about my seat and your ideas for it. Hint hint, comment hint. Finally, the third thing you should know is that I don't keep a record of when I start or finish something. Yes, I know what was the very first thing I built here, but that's it. So instead of showing things in the order they were made, I'll follow a certain path around the area and I'll show you the things as we pass by them. To start, this island is the first place I wanna show you. Does not look much, right? Yeah. Believe it or not, this is the only place that is actually planned. Well, as long as you consider a list of buildings a plan. I will put more than 40 buildings in here, hopefully. This island will be the port district, and is something I'll work this year. For now, the only thing we have is the bridge gate. The gate was built in the diagonal, because the bridge it is connected to is in the diagonal as well. The entrance is my attempt to a 3-pointed arch, with a very detailed sailing. Most people don't do this type of detailing, because it will not be seen most of the time, but I like to know it is there. The entrance also have a drawbridge even if I didn't make the mold yet. The gate is simple without a lot of detail. I focused mainly on texturing it. Being in the diagonal adds depth by itself. That's one of the nice things about diagonal buildings. As most people coming to Bridge Town will arrive by the port, I thought it was important to have the gate. The towers themselves are still empty, but I'm thinking about adding some floors, maybe a small jail. That makes sense because the gate is guarded by the city soldiers. At the top of the gate, we have a small room for this garrison. Here, the soldiers can rest between shifts, have a meal, write reports. I am not the best interior designer, but I try to do my best. I like to use player heads as decoration, like the books and the Santa plushie. I also use armor stands to make 2 racks or position things on the floor, like this shield I placed against the wall and the weapons. The rooftop was made with acacia slabs. I find the color very interesting for roofs. Of course I try to add variety, I may use different colors for roofs, but acacia is one of my favorites. After the gate we have the bridge. Like I said before, The bridge is in a 45 degrees angle, diagonal. If we look to the islands it is connecting, this angle makes sense, I think. For the bridge, I kept it simple. I added a wooden floor to break the monotony of a fully stone bridge. The parapet is made with stone blocks and fences. I added deep slate tile slabs on top of the stone blocks to add more contrast. Again, because the bridge is in the diagonal, it has some natural depth. But I added some texture as well. For stone brick walls, I like to mix stone patches and add some random blocks here and there. Cracked stone bricks, andesite, polished andesite, cobblestone, even smooth stone. I may add some color gradient in the future. I think the most interesting feature of this bridge are the arches. Considering the fact they are in the diagonal, I think they are pretty nice. There is a small detail in the arches that most people would not see. It's this small square made of slabs. It is hard to see, but they actually add to the effect the arch has. For me, the secret is always in these small details. And I just realized my bridges do not have names. Not that every bridge has to have a name, but I think I will have to find names for them, at least for the bigger ones. Okay. This bridge connects the port district to this small island. The island also does not have a name, let's call it the Hub Island. It's the connection between the port district, Shaun's island and the Citadel. Shaun is an old friend that joined the server and is building on his island here. The main goal of this island is to connect those three places through bridges, but there are a few houses on it. The bridge to Shaun Island is very similar to the one to the Port District, but instead of 45 degrees, it's in a different angle, more close to 30 degrees. Also, the arches are smaller and simpler. It took me way longer to get the arches right on this one than in the other bridges, because of the angle. The island main feature is the two small towers and the bridge that connects them. The towers are the round buildings you can see here. I made the pointy rooftops to give a more fantasy aspect to them. I actually don't look at my city as a medieval city, but as a fantasy city. This allows me more freedom in terms of style and also in terms of storytelling. I really need to go back to write short stories. That's one of the reasons for Bridgetown, to be a source of inspiration for my writing. I have this idea of writing a lot of stories and get them into books and put in a big library here, so that other players can actually read it when they come to the city. Back to the towers. I spent a lot of time in creative designing rooftops, this one included. It took me a while to figure out how to make the curvature, so it would look like this. And that's something I would like to mention. I use the creative mode. A lot. Most buildings I make, I first design in creative. It's so easier to try things and undo things, and there are new tools to accelerate the process like word edit and Axiom. I actually should learn to use Axiom. Then I make a schematic and build it in survival. Sometimes I build something direct in survival. It depends on my mood. Okay, back to the towers again. I also tried to add details like the logs coming out of it, used to support the upper part. Small arches, hanging lanterns. The upper part walls were made using mushroom stem. I don't know why more people don't use it for house walls, for example. They are white, but not pure white like other blocks. They look like they are dirty. So I think for medieval and fantasy builds, it looks amazing. It's a bit annoying to get them, but you can build farms to help. I did a small one, and will make another one designed by a friend of mine, Jurasex. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. Then we have the bridge connecting both towers. It's covered, and the rooftop is made with slabs like in the gate, just a bit more elongated. Again, because it is in the diagonal, it creates a really nice texture for the rooftop. The walls are made of stone blocks and mushroom stem blocks. I used polished andesite stairs and slabs to mark the change between the two colors. I also added a small detail with walls around the columns that support the rooftop, It's so simple, but I love it. Let's go inside. The first tower is where the tax collectors check any cargo going into the citadel. I call this tower Torre da Dízima. It's a Portuguese name. I just invented the name now, I like it. Torre is tower, and Dízima is like the 10th part, so a tax. I added some decorations like the lectern with a book so that the tax collectors can register everything, or this log on top of the campfire. This was done with the help of the statues data pack. The upper room is used as a small storage space and I decorated it to fit this idea. The bridge itself is just a passageway, so I didn't add anything to it. The second tower is used by a small garrison, responsible for protecting the north entrance to the citadel. It's bigger than the gate garrison we saw previously. More soldiers can be here, with space for them to sleep, work and prepare meals. I used these spruce shelves to make the chairs. They really give a nice touch. By the way, we use a data pack that allows us to have some heads in the shape of pots, and we can actually put flowers on them. And I use a resource pack that transforms most the normal potted plants in more interesting versions like this one. Now, let's go down to the south side of the island. The way to get there from the tower is through this small passage. Through it we get to the garden. I made a total of 16 custom trees of this type and I'm using it to replace vanilla trees in many places. I think they are like junipers, I don't know, I'm not sure. On this one I added a bird's house, a beehive and an owl. From here we can get to the small pier. It's in the pier we will find the bottle house. It was made by Elise, another player, a long time ago. And it fits perfectly, because, like I said before, this is a fantasy city, not a medieval one. We have a giant bottle in the pier. Roar! Okay, that was my attempt to a pirate. Sorry about that. And this is Jorjão. Jorjão was once a pillager. He came here a long time ago and liked so much that he decided to stay and become a fisherman. Good job, Jorjão. Now, the pier is decorated as a Fisherman Pier, of course. I probably should add some small boats though. I think I have some ideas for them. Now, if we go up, we will have two small Fisherman Houses. They are slightly diagonal as they follow the shape of the bridge. The first one will have two fishermen living in it, two brothers. The second will have a fisherman and his wife. Actually, I will bring villagers here. But I need to make a small mod to make the villagers a bit more intelligent first, so that they do not get lost or go for a swim to never be seen again. On the back of each house, I added some decoration. Let's go to the other side of the island. The north side of the island can be reached through a different passage. Here we will have a tavern. It will be called the One-Leg Crab. Where did the name come from? Well, a long time ago I made a Minecraft map using Word Painter. It had the shape of a crab with only one leg. So I thought to call it the One-Leg Crab Island. And I decided to merge this idea with Bridgetown. The name of the tavern is a reference to this mythical island. Some say the island has a treasure and also many dangers. It's said no one has ever returned from it. But no one really knows where it is. And this makes me think, how they know about it? It's a mystery. I may write some stories about it. Anyway, I hope to be able to make the tavern this year. I want it to be like those taverns in port cities from fantasy stories, where dangerous and mysterious people go to drink rum and meet in secret. Now, if we follow this path under the bridge to the other side of it, we get to another house. This house gives me Swiss Alps vibes, probably because of the balcony for plants, I don't know. It's simple, but I think I added enough detail to make it look cozy. It also has a fireplace on one side. The basement functions as a workshop where the fisherman that lives here can work on fixing the fishing nets, preparing the fish, and so on. A small detail, another one, that I like very much is this small space under the stairs that lead to the house. The house is simple and small, perfect for an old fisherman. On the attic, he keeps old things. Who knows the things we can find here? The fisherman has an apprentice that lives in this small house. It's even smaller than the other ones, and being on the diagonal, I had to be very creative to decorate it. Sushi? The fisherman has a private pier. It's here we can find his boat when he's not out there fishing. This is the only boat I made so far, ever. I've spent many hours in creative designing it, and I'm very proud of what I was able to achieve. It looks like a boat. It's a boat, and you can recognize it. I think it has a nice shape, with some details that make it unique. I think it deserves a name, but I don't want to name it yet. Look here, a school, a very old school. Why this old fisherman keeps this school here? Who was him in another life? In what adventures he went that he brought not only the school, but he keeps the school here, saying farewell every time he goes out to the sea, greeting him every time he arrives from another expedition. A reminder, but for what? All the possibilities, and that's why I don't want to name the boat yet. But we will have to leave this matter for another time. Again, I would love to know what you are thinking about Bridgetown so far. If you are not subscribed yet, great opportunity to do it now, so you don't miss the next episode and my other videos as well. If you liked the video, please let me know by leaving a thumbs up. I'll appreciate. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!